Good morning, everybody. What's up, and welcome to Adobe Live here on location at Adobe MAX. Very exciting, and if you hear the hubbub around us, just know that we are at a conference with, I don't know, 15,000 people.
I think so. Yeah.
It's pretty wild. I don't know if we have our conference cam set up, but maybe we can show you what's going on. Yes.
Ooh, there you go.
That lady looks very busy. She's got places to go, things to see, free stuff to get. Awesome. So this is our last day streaming at Adobe MAX, but we have a whole day of live streams here for you. I'm Kathleen, and this is Dan Mumford.
Hey, everyone.
Our guest for the stream. I'm going to let you introduce yourself in a moment, but chat, just know that we are going to be streaming all day today with students, other designers, all kinds of good stuff. Yes, we have an amazing schedule appearing before us. So we have the student spotlights after this, a new character animator updates with Dave Werner, what's new with Adobe Spark, photo editing workflows, and some XD goodness. And actually, surprise, surprise, you're going to be able to see the one and only Paco, the wizard of the studio. He's going to be hosting one of the sessions. So keep an eye out for that. It's a rare sighting. All right, enough from me. Dan, do you want to introduce yourself?
Well, my name is Dan Mumford, and I'm an illustrator from London. And we've done a few of these before.
Yes, chat, you might recognize Dan.
Hopefully there's some people returning to the chat.
Yeah.
I mean, I did have less hair as well about 4 years ago.
Okay.
But I just own it now. I just shaved the whole thing.
Right.
So, you know.
Your look is it's the same every year, I feel like the jean jacket, the glasses, the pins.
The black uniform.
Mm-hmm.
Just, yeah.
Designer
Except
uniform.
for the denim.
Yeah, so you have a graphic tee. It's pretty cool.
Night Shift Merchandise. It's a friend's merch company.
Oh,
Check them out.
Night Shift. There you go. I also love a good graphic tee. Looking forward. Very nice. So chat, if you are tuning in, let us know that you're here. Let us know where you're watching from. We're in Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
Are you still based in London?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're here just for the conference?
Yeah. Came in on Friday evening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been fast, and you have your bag, so you're just going to jet set off after
I'm done after this.
Thanks for being here.
No, it's fine, of course.
Awesome. Heidi, what's up? Munir, Edna, really good to see you all. We're going to jump into Dan's process for the next about hour, and he's going to be illustrating in Adobe Fresco.
Yep, that is correct.
On the iPad. Is that a Pro, or is that just an iPad?
It's the iPad Pro, but the little tiny one.
Got you. Very cool. So you have the Apple Pencil, and you already have Fresco set up, ready to go. It seems like you already have a sketch going on.
Yeah, we've got something ready.
Okay.
Because, it can take a little bit too long. We've only got an hour.
Yes.
So we've got something prepped here, and what we're going to do is we'll do some background work and just sort of play around with it, show off a few of the features.
Cool.
Including the live brushes, like the watercolors and stuff, which is, that's quite new for me. It's not something I would normally use, but it's going to bring a really nice depth to this.
Right.
In theory.
We'll see if in practice it works out. That's awesome. Jack says, seeing Dan working in Fresco, it might push me over the edge to go buy an iPad this weekend. He's amazing.
Thank you.
You're an inspiration.
Thanks, Jack.
Yes, amazing. Lisa says, hi Dan, love your Pearl Jam, Eddie Vedder posters. How long have you worked with them, and how did they find you?
I don't know how they found me.
Because of your awesome work.
But yeah, I got an email from someone, and that's generally how most jobs go these days. You get an email and you go, is this genuinely gonna go where it might go?
Is it real?
So you just gotta take the leap. Sometimes it's really good.
It's worked out for you. That's awesome. And we'll show some of Dan's work a little bit later, but first of all, we're gonna just jump into Fresco and see what it is. Because I'm sure a lot of people don't even know if they haven't tuned in before.
Yeah, so Fresco is very new, and essentially it's like a mixture of vector, pixel, and live brushes, which is sort of, I'll show you.
Yeah.
But it's basically like using watercolors and oil paints and stuff, and it's just all in one app, which is really nice.
Yeah, and it's new. It's really just a toolbox for painters and illustrators to do whatever they need to do.
Yeah, So this is actually something that I did in Adobe Draw.
Okay.
A couple of years ago, maybe. And I was like, okay, let's try and remix something with this. But the fact is, I could actually easily import this in from Draw and Sketch. I could just bring it straight in. And it's, it's kept everything that I had before. So we got all the super sharp vector lines.
Ooh, that's a nice thing about vectors.
Yeah. And what I'm going to do now, so we've got that on the top layer over here. And then we're just going to have a bit of fun behind it and try and make up some sort of world.
Okay.
Haven't got too much of a plan, which I quite like, because anything could happen.
Right.
But I'm just going to start, I think, with maybe a couple of mountains. Draw a few mountains in there, maybe.
Safe. Start with that.
So over here we've got the vector brush, and we've got the live brush over here. But I'm going to use vector for this.
Gotcha. That's kind of what you're known for, that sharp vector style.
Which is weird because I use Photoshop most of the time.
That is weird.
So it's sort of like people think that I'm doing stuff in vector, but it's actually in Photoshop because it's so clean.
Yeah.
But like when it comes to stuff like this, when traveling, I like using the vector brushes because you're always in a slightly awkward position. Maybe you're on a bus or a train or a plane.
It's on your lap.
Like I did quite a bit of work on the plane over here.
Yeah.
Like this, So working in vector actually sort of facilitates them being a bit smoother.
Gotcha.
But I'm not very good with actual Illustrator. I'm pretty bad with that.
It's tough to draw on it.
Yeah.
It can be not so intuitive.
Yeah. So a lot of the tools are pretty much, a lot of them are kind of self-explanatory. It's some of the stuff that you'll be used to from the other apps.
Yes.
But what I'm going to do, so I've got the eyedropper, and I'm going to go for a sort of a mid-blue, something like that.
Cool, and you're pulling from your color palette you already have.
Yeah, exactly. So I generally work in sort of a fairly limited color palette and maybe play with the colors afterwards when you've got like the tones and the different sort of layers in place.
Right.
Now I'm just going to sort of, like I said, there's no plan here. Cool. Anything can happen.
Just some happy little mountains.
Yeah, we can do a whole Bob Ross thing.
Yes, let's do it. Bring in the afro wigs. Let's put them on.
So let's make this pretty big.
And chat, if you have any ideas for what you want to be in this landscape, just shout them out. We're here. We're watching you.
Yeah, once we got the basic stuff in there, we can just go wild after that.
Yeah. The cool thing about Fresco is you really can see the strokes coming off the canvas, almost like in Illustrator. But when you actually export the image, it'll be a perfect square.
Yes, yeah. I get, you could leave yourself little messages on the side if you wanted.
You can have your reference out there. It's pretty nice.
I'll clean it up at the end maybe so it looks nice.
Cool. So Singham wants to know, how easy is it to draw on that smaller iPad Pro? Does the size constrain you?
I don't find it does really, no. I'm very comfortable working at this scale. I actually find it more comfortable. I used to have one of the larger Pro ones.
Yeah.
And it just didn't really work for me. It kind of, it just felt a bit too bulky.
Right.
And I always found myself quite uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So I really do enjoy working on the smaller one.
Perfect. And you can zoom in and zoom out as much as you need.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, it's a bit more mobile as well,
Right.
It fits in my bag easier.
Definitely. Like if you have the big one, it almost feels like you just have your laptop with you again.
Exactly. And I normally have my laptop with me anyway,
Yeah.
so I don't really need two giant laptops.
We got the GoPro cam going on. What's up, GoPro? And that way we can see everyone behind us as well. That's fun. Love that. So somebody says maybe adding a spaceship in the sky. That could be cool.
There you go.
Axel says that. Very nice. Mel says, yeah, the smaller iPad is more portable, which is her key factor.
Yeah, it is. It's also less heavy as well.
Yeah, right. And it's also interesting because you're a tall dude.
Yeah.
And you still like the smaller one, so.
Yeah, it just makes me look bigger, I think, with the tinier iPad.
Just a giant.
Yeah.
It's awesome. That's why I like the big one.
Exactly, there you go. There's something for everyone.
Yeah, there you go. Awesome. In chat, if you have any questions for Dan, please feel free to send them over. Like I said, we have until about 10:55, so almost an hour of work time, which is not very much for an illustrator, but we'll see what we can do.
It's not quite enough, no. But
no, not quite.
We'll get something done. I think it'll be nice.
Right.
I'm actually trying to do, this is probably the most ambitious thing I've tried to do on a live stream before, so,
Yay, I'm in total support.
Okay, good.
That is awesome. Kay Cervantes says, it's good to hear someone that is happy with the smaller iPad Pro. They want the giant one, but they don't want to have to haul it around.
I genuinely just go with the smaller one because they're just as powerful, and you can kind of do everything you need to on these smaller ones. And also these apps, they're pretty well tuned. Like they're very quick.
Yeah.
You know, I don't really have any issues with them.
With lag and that kind of thing.
And this isn't like a super duper iPad Pro. It's just like the pretty basic level.
Right. Still works.
Yeah,
Still
works
awesome. Great. Nice. Jimmy says, I have problems in Fresco where I put my hand down to draw and it undoes a lot. Oh no! I think there is palm rejection, but maybe it's not working so well for Jimmy.
I've not had that at all, actually. One thing you can do is get those the silk gloves. Those are really useful. And
you look really cool.
You look really cool, and they actually help with making it a lot smoother as well.
Yeah.
Because
with your strokes.
These things get really hot.
Yeah.
And your hand can get quite sticky.
Yeah.
In fact, right now it's getting a little bit.
A little grubby.
Yeah, a little bit gross.
Got the lights on you, got everybody watching.
No, exactly, right? It's okay, they'll put the aircon up like really high soon.
Yeah, you're brave. You're a brave soul.
I am, aren't I?
Yeah. I'm building you up.
Okay, so I've got one layer there of mountains.
Nice.
This is going to look a little bit bad for a while, but it's all going to come together at the end, don't worry.
It always does.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I can even see in the shapes of these mountains, I can see the Dan Mumford style already. Like just in their shape character.
Yeah, you know, I always try and, I compose things in a fairly similar way each time. That's just, that's what happens, isn't it? You get into your rhythm of stuff.
Right, and it's just you. It's how you make work.
Exactly, yeah. So I'm going to go for a slightly lighter blue now, and we're going to do more mountains.
More mountains, pushing back that atmospheric perspective.
Exactly. And something's going to happen in between these mountains in a bit.
Ooh, nice. So you're taking full advantage of the layers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You can go pretty high with the layers on this as well, I think.
Yeah, somebody was saying either 500 or 5,000, like they were just seeing how many they could do.
Yeah.
In the hundos, for sure.
I've just realized something I could do that would make this a lot quicker, and that's use the lasso tool.
Yes.
And I'm just going to have a little bit of fun here.
Ooh.
Why didn't I think of this before?
Because you're on a live stream and it's hard to think.
There we go.
Yeah.
Then paint bucket. And now I'll clean it up a little bit.
Easy peasy, almost too easy.
Yeah, I preferred it before when it was more effort.
Yeah, a little meditative. Abdul says this looks amazing. The colors are awesome.
Well, we're going to go color heavy actually. This is going to be a big colored thing.
Exciting!
I think it looks quite dull right now, but because I love color, like color's kind of my thing.
I can see that.
But a lot of the time stuff does start pretty basic actually. Like in sort of just more grayscale colors and things. Because you can get the levels and the feel for the atmosphere and stuff like that.
Low depth.
And then all the color tends to sort of come a little bit more at the end.
Nice, when you're really kind of finessing things.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice. So Stone says, I'm left-handed, so there's different issues concerning touch screens. Stone, I'm interested to hear what your issues are. I'm left-handed as well, and I usually have to change the interface around a little bit, but I don't really have any technical issues, like having to reach over, because you can always just flip your iPad around.
That's true.
Do your own thing. Yeah, nice. Oh, we're going to be giving away a 3-month Creative Cloud subscription during this stream. Very exciting. Wasn't actually sure about that. There's Kara Sykes over there. What's up, Kara? Awesome. All right, so yes, we're going to be giving away a 3-month Creative Cloud subscription. And if you stick around, we will see some fireworks behind us, and that's when you know we're going to be doing the giveaway. So stick around for that. It's going to be totally random and totally awesome.
Totally random?
Anyone can win. There she is, Kara Sykes, in the limelight with her cute little hat. Look at her over there. So Kara streamed with us on the first day with Illustrator on the iPad. That was announced on Monday. Very cool. I'm not really a graphic designer, but using that app on the iPad makes me feel like a real live graphic designer.
Yeah, it's really nice to see that stuff coming to fruition, because we've been hearing about it for such a long time.
Yes.
And now it's all starting to appear. We've got Fresco, we've got Photoshop. It is making it a lot easier to do stuff when you're moving and traveling.
Creativity everywhere.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, we are going to be doing a giveaway. Everyone's super excited in the chat. Woohoo! And I think our chat is super laggy because people are just getting excited about the giveaway we talked about a couple minutes ago. But yes, amazing.
Something's
Awesome.
happening.
Something is happening, and I'm glad people are excited.
Okay.
Abdul says, I love Adobe Fresco. It is stunning. Me too.
Yeah, it's really fun. I think it's also something where even if you're not someone that traditionally would do much drawing or painting,
right.
It's just quite fun.
That's like, what it's all about.
Yeah, it's genuinely a very intuitive sort of thing to use, and we all kind of have a rough idea of how, like, you know, painting, you just sort of make messy painting colors, and like maybe you end up with just lots of brown, but it's fun, you know, just sort of making all this stuff merge together. It kind of reminds me of when I would just play around as a kid. You know?
Yeah, definitely. If you saw the keynote with Kyle Webster doing his little demo for Fresco, that's what it was all about. It was just about the joy of drawing. It really is very Bob Ross, the joy of painting. Andrigo says Dan Mumford's Behance portfolio is really nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, and maybe we can pop over to my screen super quick so I can show it off to everybody. You can follow Dan on Behance, just Dan Mumford Draws. That is his username. And this is where you can really see what Dan can do. This is how this is going to go. Ooh, Futurama? Heck yeah.
Yeah, we got Futurama in there.
And I saw some Yu-Gi-Oh! As well.
Somewhere. Yeah, I'm not sure if Yu-Gi-Oh's on Behance.
Maybe it was on your Instagram.
It's on my website, Yu-Gi-Oh!
So
I need to update all of these things.
Yeah.
Instagram is the most up to date because that's basically like every day I am doing something.
Yeah, you have this right now. Yeah. Very cool. So if you want to go follow Dan, please do it. Dan Mumford Draws on Instagram. I'm already a follower. Of course.
I'm Dan Mumford Draws on every platform, I think.
Okay. Nice.
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Behance.
Can you get that whole username on Twitter? Dan Mumford Draws? Wow.
I think any new platform, that's what I'll use.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I'll just use that for everything, I think.
Going from now on.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice. Liam says the colors are so good.
Well,
agreed.
I'm just sort of like, we're not even started yet.
Yeah, right.
This is like the base level of stuff.
Things are going to get wild. Okay, so you're adding these kind of more organic shapes, adding some plant matter.
Basically, we're just adding a little bit of depth. We're sort of having, you know, they're looking out over this landscape. Adventure awaits. Right, adventure does await. Yeah. Looking forward, as my t-shirt says. Exactly. Very good. And I like how you are adding detail, but not too much detail. So it really is like detail up front and going further back. I think there's a lot to be said for actually doing stuff in silhouette and then maybe adding detail in afterwards. Because if you can get the silhouette of something like correct, and you can like immediately read it, then extra detail after that is maybe not even necessary. Yeah. You know, that's a successful composition. Exactly. That's the best way to look at it. And I that's another thing with my sketches. It's always normally very simple colors and just very sort of blocky shapes. So actually, like the background here is how a sketch would start normally. Okay. Nice. And we're going back. A little bit out here. Reshaping. Love that lasso tool. It's really good, actually. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the polygonal lasso tool, so to make those like sharp shapes, very nice. It's actually really good to look at it on the screen, because I'm getting quite a good view of it from over there. Right, I know. As an artist, you really do have to look at things from further away, close up. Yeah, you genuinely do. Yeah, my other favorite thing, 2 fingers to tap to undo. Yes, important. I think it's 3 finger to redo. I think so, yeah. You can check out all of the gesture shortcuts if you click the little question mark at the top chat if you have any questions. Kelsey says that's a really good way to think about composition with shapes. Yeah, that's all they are, because it's how our eyes read things. Yeah. And it's also like, if the silhouette was slightly off, we'd be like, I don't know. I know what it's meant to be, but it doesn't really work. It's like the way she's got her hands up, you know, you can tell she's feeling strong. Powerful. Yeah. That's awesome. So Abdul was wondering, what software do you use when you're not using Fresco? You talked about Photoshop? Yeah, it's pretty much Photoshop. Gotcha. Most of the time. Man. How long have you been using it? 2007. Okay, a while. 12 years? Yeah. I mean, but only to its full potential the last 6-7 years maybe.
Gotcha.
So it used to be I would just scan in black and white drawings and use the little paint bucket tool to fill in the areas.
Yeah.
So it was like a stained glass window sort of thing. And over the years I've just sort of understood different things about Photoshop.
Yeah, you have to.
But that's the wonderful thing, like everyone uses it in a different way. And like I was doing a workshop class on Saturday, and I was doing stuff, and I think a lot of people were like, they would have never thought to do that with those tools. But that's just because no one ever really taught me, so I just do what I do.
Figured it out.
Yeah, which I think is amazing. Like anyone can do anything with any tool. There's no right or wrong way really with any of
Not
this
at
stuff.
all.
It's just a big toolbox, you know?
Literally, and it's such a, especially Photoshop, it's a behemoth of a program.
Yeah.
So you really have to find your own way, or else it can get a little overwhelming.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, we're going to start to add some color.
Ooh, very nice.
I think what we'll do, so I always add like a base color as well to the back. Pixel's fine. Okay.
Done.
Yeah, done.
It's very Firewatch.
Stream over. Very Firewatch, yeah. So with this, I'm sort of thinking that hot yellow is like the lighting for everything.
Okay.
So I might even, no, we'll leave it like that for now.
Okay.
And then I think we're going to have some fun with the live brushes. So I'm going to do a new layer.
I'm so excited.
And there they are. So we've got all the watercolory stuff. And I like to use a pretty watery brush. So we'll go with, I think we'll go with Wash Soft. And then down here you've got the water flow.
Right.
So I'm going to put that high.
Okay.
And then let's go with this. We'll start.
Ooh.
I don't know, what color do you think the sky should be? Put you on the spot here. I think some sort of orangey, purpley, red.
Right.
That we're in that region.
Yeah, we could throw like some sort of magenta.
Should we start with magenta? Yeah. Should we go down here? We'll go light to start.
Okay, gotcha.
Because we can always go darker.
Yeah, that is true. You have that real painter's mind. We can always go darker. It's hard to go lighter.
Okay. So, I'm going to think about the light source being in the middle.
Okay.
And just sort of
building up the edges.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm curious, chat, how many of you were watching the Fresco demo on day one of the keynotes? So we definitely got to see a lot of this color bleeding happening. It's nice to see it again.
It's so nice. Just sort of doing a thing and then just letting it seep out.
Yeah, it almost takes control out of your hands a little bit, but in a good way. Just gotta let it do its thing. Jill is saying orange. Singham says orange. Okay, now everyone is catching up to your question about what color the sky should be.
Well, you know what?
There.
We'll get there. We might add some orange in at some point. I might go crazy.
Nice.
So basically just through the use of pressure, I'm just getting very light towards the bottom down here. And I might go all the way because we can just put more yellow in afterwards.
Right. It's like you're adding a whole wash to the entire area.
Yeah.
Very cool. Julian wonders, can we import new brushes on Fresco? Yes, you can. Julian, you can even make your own brushes with Adobe Capture or Photoshop and then just upload them. It's pretty easy. Yeah, and you can also have access to the entire mega pack from Kyle Webster if you have a CC subscription. So my Fresco has like 500 brushes in it, and it is entirely too much.
Like, I haven't even got through like 20% of those brushes.
Me neither. They're
like,
all awesome.
I normally use very simple brushes to get shapes and stuff, but there's some really nice textured stuff in there, which I've started to use in my more like sort of not painterly, but stuff where there's a bit more texture going on.
Right.
And they just make things really easy and really nice.
They really kind of make your work a little, takes the power out of your hands, like I said earlier.
Yeah, but that's really nice because sometimes like something you weren't expecting just sort of happens. You know?
Happy accident, just like Bob Ross.
So the other thing that's really cool that I really like is you can select the little checkerboard down here.
Cool.
And this should just, it just turns it into water.
Whoa.
So I don't know if you can see on the stream, but I'm basically just throwing extra water in here.
Right.
And it would just make it a little bit, give it more of that sort of watery feel.
Yeah,
you got it going over there.
Yeah, I can see it. It's still moving. And it will keep moving until you dry the layer, which is funny. Put a little fan on there.
I probably won't. I like that you can keep doing stuff, you know.
Yeah, keep it alive. Definitely.
So now I'm going to go a little bit darker on the top, I think. So we need to go back to solid color. And around there. Yeah.
Oh, nice, Paco, with the stream tips about the delay. Thank you for posting that. Amazing. Tasha says that the pink is delicious.
Delicious. That's what I was going for. I was going for
delicious pink. Marina says, does somebody know which Windows devices? I'm not sure exactly which ones it is compatible with, but I'm sure it is available on the website because that was announced on Monday.
So let's throw a little sort of orangey color in here.
Perfect.
So you see how it's sort of, it's not doing too much, it's very subtle.
Right.
But that's what's really nice about it, because you can just sort of experiment and see what's going to happen.
Yeah, and the pressure sensitivity is so good, especially with these new brushes.
If you can see, I'm holding this really lightly.
Like an actual paintbrush?
Yeah. It feels quite natural to do it that way.
A true artiste. We got double Dan Mumford on the screen.
I know. I see. This is really, I think I need a second screen in my studio, like just a few feet away from me.
Yeah, monitor.
Yeah, it's really
Very
nice.
Riaz wants to know, not in Windows 10. I'm not sure if that's only on the desktop or not, Riaz, but this is definitely not a desktop app. It's for mobile, very good on the go. It works on the Surface Pro 7. Thank you, Ralph. Nice. Alex wants to know, how has Fresco and mobile work changed your workflow?
So for me, it's really just meant that I can work when I'm traveling.
Yeah.
So like, on the way here, I'd say a good 8 hours work on the plane.
Wow.
Which was really nice, because before I was like, I'm a little bit stressed, I've got this stuff to do, but I actually quite like long plane rides, because you're in a situation where you can't go anywhere, you can't do anything. They might have that like really bad Wi-Fi, but don't bother. So I just put on lots of movies, and I just work away on the iPad, and I actually get quite good work done while traveling. And then, if you need to, you can then finish it off on the other end.
Right. So yeah, whatever you can't do.
Yeah, exactly. It's become less stressful to travel, that's what I'd say.
Good. Yeah. So this is real client work that you're working on?
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, no, like stuff that had a really silly deadline.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, let's see what happens on the plane,
Let's see what happens.
Yeah, let's see what we can get done.
So have you been a freelancer your entire career?
Yeah, I think I have, actually. Wow. It's been 2007, 12 years. Yep, freelance the whole time.
Man, is that what you thought you were going to do?
No.
No?
No, I had no idea what I was going to do.
Right.
Like, it was all very much not a gamble, but it was sort of, I left university with some money that I'd saved up from like 1 or 2 jobs. And I think I had like 6 months to make it work. It was sort of like, if that doesn't work, maybe I'm going to have to get a job in a studio or something.
Right.
And I just, it never came to that. I was very lucky.
That's amazing.
Yeah, no, it was really good.
Wow.
I'm very happy. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, you're a very lucky man.
I know,
that's awesome.
But that's the thing. Like, a lot of people do transition to freelance after they've done a few years in a studio or something, and I think that's also a totally valid way to do things, because you're going to learn things that probably took me longer to learn. Right. Because I was doing everything on my own.
Yeah. It's a really good tip. Ooh, Chat and Win is happening right now. You can see the little fireworks behind us. So that means that one of you is going to win a free 3-month subscription for Creative Cloud. So the way that we like to do this is we're going to ask you a question, and when you answer the question, you'll be entered to win. Is there anything that you want to know about the people watching?
What's your favorite new feature of Fresco?
All right, let us know. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back, chat. All right, let us know what your favorite new features for Fresco is, or just what you like about it in general. It's pretty cool. The chat is very excited. It is popping off. So Betty likes the watercolors.
Yeah, that's my favorite thing, I think.
I still haven't totally nailed down the oils yet, but I really like them as well.
That's something I need to explore more with, because I'm also not quite sure how I would use that in my work yet.
Right.
Whereas the watercolors are quite I do some stuff that uses really soft, sort of foggy stuff anyway.
Right.
So the watercolors are quite a natural addition for me.
Perfect.
But I'm not sure about the oil paints. I need to try them more.
Right. I'm sure you could make something very cool. Very cool with them. Yeah, a lot of people are saying the watercolors and the brushes.
Yeah. They're just really, it's just fun.
The joy of painting, as we say.
It is, yeah.
Christian says, I've never used it. Christian, I hope you can use it sometime. That'd be awesome. We have a winner, Deb P. Congratulations, Deb. Woohoo! You have won 3-month subscription to Creative Cloud. So keep an eye on your Behance messages, and we will get the information over to you stat. And if you didn't win, don't worry. We have a whole rest of the day of streaming, and we're going to be giving away even more subscriptions throughout the day. Because we're just thankful that you're here, chat. It's our little way of saying thanks. Woohoo. All right, so we're adding colors. You were
We'll do a little bit more color now.
Okay, awesome. On a new layer?
New layer.
Awesome.
Got the, let's see. Yeah, let's keep it nice and flowy with the water. And I'm just going to try, I'm on the wrong layer. I want it here, yeah. Actually, let's make this one.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So you're working behind one layer on top of another. Interesting.
It's a little sort of smoky effect. You know?
Okay. Love the atmosphere.
Yeah. So we'll work this in, and then we'll play around with it a little bit afterwards.
Awesome. Oh, look at it moving, literally like smoke. That is so cool.
And now let's have more of that water.
Smoke it out. Amazing.
Yeah.
So now you're just adding transparent, literally water to your iPad.
Yeah.
Very cool. Not literally water. That would be bad. But
no, not literally water.
You know what I mean. You know what I mean. Ernie says, I'm finally purchasing my new iPad Pro. Mobile is the way to go.
It's a good way to go.
I agree. And we have tons of awesome mobile apps, not only the drawing ones, but we have Premiere Rush. So if you want to make social video content on the go, super easy to do that on your phone, upload it onto Twitter, whatever you want. Very cool. And then Capture, one of my very favorite apps. You can make brushes, you can make vectors, you can find typefaces, patterns. You can even make a texture for a 3D object, which is very nice.
Yeah, I saw someone creating stuff with Rush over the course of 2 days. They did a whole 5-minute video the other day. It was great.
That's awesome, and it works on phones, mobile, like a tablet, and you can do it on the desktop. And it's all cloud synced, so you're working on your phone, you get into the office, and you can pop over to your desktop. It's all there.
The cloud documents thing's like my new favorite thing.
Yeah?
Because I was working on something in Photoshop on the iPad, and then I just pressed the home button and it was saved. Instantly it was on the screen in front of me, and it was like, oh, okay, that's kind of a game changer.
That's fast.
Actually, that's my new favorite feature, because in terms of workflow, that's going to change everything.
Yep.
Because before it wasn't quite as easy to get your files sometimes, but that's just the best way to do it.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
That's where that beauty of the Creative Cloud integration comes in, with specifically Fresco and Photoshop and those things. Yeah. And it's in other drawing programs, you have to export it, or in the past you'd have to export it and then things might get compressed and lost, and it's very easy. It's almost too easy.
It's almost too easy.
Right.
Awesome. Let's go. So there's a lot of this sort of going, I'm not sure which color I want to add in here.
Right. Although any decision is probably a good decision.
We'll see.
We'll see. Don't speak too soon.
Let's go. Okay, we'll just do this for now.
Nice. A little saturation down there. Very good. Awesome. And chat, I do want to remind you that we do have awesome streams coming throughout the day. So this is not the only stream. We're going to kick Dan out of here in about 30 minutes, and then you're going to go catch a flight.
Yeah, I'm going all the way back home tonight.
Oh my goodness.
Well, I leave here around 3. I get home to the UK around 9:30 tomorrow morning.
Okay.
So, because we go forward 8 hours. It's the evening over there now.
Wow. Do you have to fly over the entire U.S. or are you just flying over the Pacific Ocean?
No, it's across the U.S., yeah. I think that's the first, 5 hours.
Ugh, that's tough. That is.
It's fine. Look, I'll put some movies on. I'm not going to do any work on the way home. I'm going to let myself rest.
Well, I hope that you have good seatmates and that everything goes well.
Yeah, so do I.
That can make a world of difference.
I mean, it can go horribly wrong, yeah.
It could, but I'm hoping it doesn't.
No, it was fine on the way here. Guy next to me just slept.
Amazing.
That's what you want.
So polite. So
yeah, exactly.
polite of him to sleep.
Of course, my least favorite thing is when people put the seats back, because
yeah,
it's not the easiest.
Yeah. Got you. So we are adding a new layer, and I saw you were messing with the opacity.
Yeah.
Which is something we haven't talked about yet. You can change the blend modes and opacity of the layers.
So let's take that layer there. So the little sliders over here, you can change the blend modes, but I don't want to do that right now. But those are some of the blend modes you'd be used to from Photoshop or whatever. But the opacity, because that's a little bit harsh, I think. So we're just dropping it down.
Nice.
And that, that sort of feeds into the watercolor nature of it anyway. So as you can see, the more I work on this, in fact, over here, it's even bleeding out a little bit onto the that yellow layer. So we're getting a really nice...
Even more mixture.
Yeah.
Jason says it couldn't go horribly wrong, but it could go horribly right.
That's what I'm hoping for. Yeah, horribly right.
Oh man. So do you have to travel a lot for your freelance work?
It's not the work necessarily in terms of creating artwork. It's more talking about the work and workshops and things like that, which is something I really enjoy doing.
Yeah.
So, I'll always travel to do that.
That's cool.
And also it's always nice to see new cities, meet new people, so
Yeah, gotta get inspired by those new places.
Yeah, and generally you do leave somewhere inspired, something like Adobe MAX. I mean, I've been here for 5 days, and it's just intense, non-stop stuff. So it's pretty hard to leave not inspired in that situation.
Right. And you were here because you were speaking, right?
Yeah, I was part of the Russell Brown's pre-conference, so that's Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, and that's just a whole workshop of different things, all these different sort of ideas and different speakers, and so I was doing a talk for that one.
Very nice. What was the topic?
Well, I was doing color. It was all about color.
Surprise.
Yeah, which was nice because it's the first time I've really talked about my color theory and the way I do things. Normally I sort of talk about composition or the ideas and why I draw what I draw, but this is the first time I kind of really dug into why I do what I do with color. And the sort of the short story is, I'm not quite sure, but I can tell you how I think about things.
Right.
I'm just not sure why I do it that way.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's intuitive.
That's a lot of the time it's instinct, because some people will say, well, why did you put a pink with a blue and a yellow as well? I don't really know. It's just because I know that feels correct to me.
Yeah.
And I think that is color theory in essence anyway. And I'm sure someone far smarter could break it down properly.
Right.
But I like to but this was just about talking about how and why I do things with color.
Right.
And I think I kind of hope to talk more about that in the future as well.
Yeah, I'd like to hear you talk about it more, and maybe you'll, as you talk about it more, figure out more of the hows and whys.
Exactly. Actually, the more I do various talks, I always come away with a bit more knowledge about why I'm doing something. It's a really great way to break down into your theory about stuff.
Right, and learn about yourself.
Exactly, which is important.
Very nice. Julian, this app comes with your Creative Cloud subscription if you have one, and then it is free to use, but there is a premium version for some premium features. So do with that what you will. Ernie says that he loves the It Chapter 2 promotional piece that you did.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's that one.
Ooh, very cool. Are you a scary movie guy?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. I haven't seen Chapter 2 yet, but I've heard mixed reviews.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Did you like the first one?
Yeah, I love It, the book, too, so I'm into it.
I mean, I'm not sure how close it is to the book.
Okay.
I know there's definitely some stuff that is fairly unfilmable / should probably not be filmed.
A little problematic.
Yeah, there's some stuff like that, and
yes.
I think that's fine that those elements
just
left
keep
out.
that out. Yeah, that's good.
But I enjoyed it as a, as a fun film.
Yeah, a little wild romp.
That's the correct word for it. Yeah, a wild romp
with clowns and monsters and good things like that.
I mean, he is fantastic.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Mel is saying, for a second I thought the shortcut button was a moon in the grass. A little touch shortcut hiding down there.
Oh, we haven't talked about that.
No.
This is great. So this essentially is the Option key, I think it's called. So what I use it for is when I'm drawing, I have the vector brush. I use the basic taper. And by holding the Option key, it inverts it to essentially work like an eraser.
Yes.
Which for me is really good because I like to sort of chip away at things.
Yes.
I'll show that really quickly.
You're a sculptor.
Let's use. So this is a vector layer. I got the vector brush, and this should just turn it into. Yeah, there you go. It's essentially. In fact, if you look in the top corner up here. Yeah, look, it's saying erase with brush.
Yes.
So it's using the same settings from the brush, but as an eraser.
Yeah.
Which is just, for me, that's really intuitive and it feels natural.
Right.
In fact, if you maybe work on like a Cintiq with like the buttons down the side, it's similar to that sort of thing.
It's like pressing the button and going with
Yeah,
it.
because I actually really like to sort of hold it on the side while I'm drawing, and it's just, your thumb's just doing that naturally.
Yeah, right. And having that erase as brush is really important for a cohesive piece, because if you are drawing with a really textured brush and then you use just a round eraser, your work looks a little strange and kind of like it's a Frankenstein.
No, exactly. It's a really sort of nice way to pull it all together. Maybe that's my favorite new feature. I keep changing my mind.
There's a lot of good ones.
Yeah.
A lot of good ones.
The option key really is a good one.
Yeah, definitely. Ahmad wants to know, is this vector art? So partly vector.
Yeah. So the stuff you're seeing with all the watercolors, those are the new live brushes.
Yeah, not vector.
No, and they are literally just their own thing, aren't they? Like there's not really a way to pigeonhole them.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you took them into Photoshop, like if you took the layers in, they would be raster, kind of like the watercolor brushes. Yeah.
But while you're within the app, they stay live.
Yeah.
So you can just keep going back to them and interacting with them. Yeah. So like I'm doing now, I've just come back to this one at the back to give it more of a sort of soft. Because we got some quite harsh lines up at the top there.
And it looks like there's clouds like building upon themselves. It's very cool.
So we'll just keep playing around up there.
And back to Ahmad's question about vector art. So you do have vector layers, and that's like the mountains in the background. Yeah. And when you take that into Photoshop or Illustrator, they will be vector shapes or smart objects, depending on what app you're in. So if you took them into Illustrator, they would be vector shapes, and you could then push and play with the pixels, or the points. That'd be great.
Yeah, like it's pretty versatile. It's all about learning what you personally can do with it, and what like you want to get out of it.
Yeah.
So for me, it's very much I can do this sort of thing where it's a mixture of my vector art style, but with a lot softer colors and things.
Right.
And I think this is also going to be a great tool for me when I'm traveling to do sketches and stuff really quickly. And then if you want to, when you get back, just like immediately open it up, carry on doing whatever you're doing.
How much of the finishing work do you actually do on desktop? Is it a lot, a little bit?
I mean, with something like this, it would probably just be a case of cropping it down and maybe adjusting levels and things like that.
Some adjustment layers.
But probably not much. I mean, it's not necessary, But you could if you want.
Right, and if that's part of your workflow and you need to do some extra things, or you could also take this into Photoshop on the iPad and do those things as well.
That's true, yeah.
Pretty awesome. Haven't talked about that yet.
Yeah,
Very
I've been playing around with that quite a bit, and that's. I actually over 2 days I created a piece on the iPad in Photoshop, and then was sort of pulling it up on the computer right in front of me to do some like color stuff, and basically I had a finished piece in 2 days just by working on the iPad, and that was really good. That was kind of the most intense chance I've had to play with it.
Yeah.
But it worked really well. It's great.
That's awesome, and it's a new app just like Fresco is, so there's more stuff to come. more features to be added. And if you have feedback, chat about things that you want or things that aren't working, please send it over. You can do that within the app, and the teams love to hear it because we need to know what's working and what's not.
We're getting there.
Yeah, and we have about 10 minutes left, so this is, I think, perfect timing.
Is that it?
Yep, that's it.
Okay, so I'm just adding a little bit of a bright spot there.
Cool.
Okay, I'm now going to work really quickly.
Right,
I was just being really leisurely, getting into it, you know.
It is leisurely. This is casual, just for fun.
So, what I think we'll do now is add a little bit more drama.
Ooh, the drama.
So I'm going to go back to doing some vector stuff. So basic taper.
Ooh.
And now I'm just going to, got it, brush.
There we go.
Just sort of give a little
Oh, cool, some movement.
suggestion of some sort of wind.
Yeah. Nice. And Julian wants to know, with all the layers, can we switch to After Effects? Yeah, you could export this as a PSD and then open it in After Effects with all the layers. You can export each layer as its own vector shape or asset if you'd like. So do what you will.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see people just take this and run.
Let's see. There's no time. I'm trying to. What do I want to add?
If you don't finish, it'll be okay. I'm sure people will check out your finished work on Instagram or wherever you choose to post it.
I'm pretty happy with what we've done, actually.
Yeah.
We've got a nice little atmosphere going on.
It has good feels. I feel like a lot of your work, it can be a little intense. Like, it's very dramatic, but this feels very pure and wholesome.
Yeah, it's fun. Mm-hmm. It's a nice little fun piece.
Nice. Kelsey wants to see you do a graphic novel. What do you think about that? It's a lot of work.
It'd be so much work.
That's the first thing artists think about. They're like, that's a lot of work.
Yeah, genuinely that would be fun.
Mm-hmm.
But I just don't know that I could do it or like maintain the pace. You know, I think I'd get a few pages through and just be like,
yes.
Are we done yet?
Yeah.
Have we got another 20 to do or something?
Oh my gosh, maybe you could do just a short. Like, be part of an anthology, just a couple page story.
Well, I was actually talking last night with some friends about, like, what are the new directions to take things, you know, what do I want to do? And we were talking about, like, making a video game and something like that with my work. Actually, kind of like Firewatch, you know, because that was Ollie Moss's artwork, sort of exploring new territories.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, I mean, logistically, again, I have some friends that could help do it.
Yeah, hopefully it would be a team effort, not just all on you.
I mean, it would be useless if it was all on me.
It wouldn't happen.
No, it would not happen, no.
What's up, Yuri, in the chat? Good to see you. Yeah, Kelsey says maybe a short comic then.
Yeah, I could do a few pages. It's the sort, actually, I mean, it was the sort of thing I wanted to do as a kid, because I did and still do adore comics.
Yeah.
But I just haven't ever explored it really as an adult.
Yeah. You probably have a good understanding of how much work it requires and skill, and it's a big thing.
It'd be a hell of a lot of work.
Yes, that's an understatement. Deb wants to know, have you ever colorized an old black and white photo in Fresco? That's a good idea.
Huh, yeah, that could work really well.
Yeah, just paint over on like a multiply layer on top of it.
Yeah, definitely.
I love that idea.
Yeah, I that's the thing, I think there's a lot of stuff to be explored that I certainly haven't had a chance to do yet.
But on this long flight to London...
No, I'm going to be sleeping.
Oh, okay.
I'm definitely going to do some sleeping this time, I think.
Dreaming of Fresco.
Yeah. I mean, it's straight back to work on Thursday afternoon, maybe?
Oh my goodness.
No, I can't do that. Friday. I'll take Thursday off, maybe.
Please do. You have my permission.
Tell
your clients.
No.
That's funny. Yuri says your page and your portfolio is crazy amazing.
Thank you very much.
Cramazing.
Cramazing. That's what I was going for.
I think you did it. In chat, seriously, you should go follow Dan on Instagram and on Behance and all those good things. Dan Mumford draws in all the places. He even has a highlight from Adobe MAX.
Yeah.
Do you want to check that out?
Oh yeah, I try and share everything that we're doing here with people that can't be here.
Yeah.
So watch that. There's lots of fun stuff on there.
Last night on the way to the bash, I saw you recording something. which I'm guessing was for your story, and I tried to get it at the end of it.
You might like have your hand just going in there.
The end frame is just me looking like a crazy person.
Yeah. So I think we're kind of done.
Very cool.
I'm pretty happy with how that's looking.
Oh. So what were these little speckles? Is it kind of like fireflies, embers?
Just like a little bit of atmosphere and lighting going on there.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the sort of thing where I could keep playing with this for another hour and still not be completely happy with how it's looking. But this gives you a good idea of sort of how my brain works with these things. It's all about trying to add some atmosphere and some lighting and making it seem like, I don't know, there's a little bit of a story going on there.
Definitely.
They're just about to go off on an epic adventure or something,
Yeah. Have you ever seen the movie Brightburn?
I watched it on the flight here.
I watched it on a flight too, but someone just said this reminds me of Brightburn.
Well,
but like if it took the other twist.
It's a little bit sunnier, a little bit nicer than Brightburn.
Yeah.
That film shocked me in certain areas.
Me too.
It's not for the stream.
No.
But yeah, that's true. This could be. No, it's more like Superman. There you go.
Yeah.
Or Supergirl.
It's
It's the nice ones. Yeah.
Very cool. And so we have about 5 minutes left. Maybe you could go through all your different layers.
Sure.
Just take a peek at how they're working, because it's always interesting to see how people have built their work.
So we've got is a pretty robust layer system as well on there. So I'll just go through. So we had little. That was like a little watercolor effect one. This I think is just the atmospheric little dusty bits.
Yes.
And then if we take that foreground away, it's quite messy.
Right, you can see under the hood.
But like it doesn't really matter. No one's going to see that apart from you.
Apart from all of your friends.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone right now. So basically, it's just a mixture of sort of going hard color and then the sort of softer color. And again, playing with the opacity, you can really, you're never really set completely with that stuff.
Right.
You can just keep playing around with it.
Deb says this looks great, awesome job.
Thank you.
And Anne says it's lovely.
Lovely is the word. That's what I was going for.
Not
lovely.
Brightburn-esque. It is lovely. Jimmy says, "Can we just extend this stream? I'm not done watching Dan." I'm not done watching Dan. Dan's not a caged animal.
No, I would like to do more stuff like this though, because it is hard to condense everything down into 1 hour.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
I think I've done a few. I did an Adobe Live that was across 6 hours once. That was
a couple
the sort
days.
of 3-day thing. That was good.
Yeah, you should come back for another one. That'd be fun. We do a lot of Fresco stuff.
Well, I think there's going to be some great stuff coming out with Fresco coming up.
Agreed.
And I think the more people play with it, the more you're going to see some stuff that's just kind of unexpected, Like I don't think anyone's really explored the true potential of it yet.
No.
And I think you'll see people like myself kind of just having a bit more fun with it and just
getting loose.
Doing stuff that you weren't expecting to do.
Right, and I think that's going to also inform the app as it continues to get updated and we're looking for feature requests.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Who knows? Yeah, somebody says that you should do a tutorial for Fresco in the near future.
Yeah, well, I mean,
content idea.
Those are potentially that sort of thing that could happen. I think, yeah. I think I did a draw one before. So yeah, because I've been working with the mobile apps for a few years now, about 4, I think.
You're a pro.
They're fun. They're all really fun. Doing lots of creating. Yeah,
so chat, we just have a couple more minutes left, but please go follow Dan on the Instagrams, on the web, wherever you can find the Dan Mumford draws. We have an awesome full day of Adobe Live coming up after this. Maybe we can pop up the schedule one more time so you know what's up, what's going on, and also know that we're going to be giving away more 3-month subscriptions to Creative Cloud. So we've got 2 student spotlights coming up after this with Shantanu and Victoria. Christine, I believe, is going to be hosting them. She's over there getting ready. And then we're going to have some character animator with Dave Werner, I believe. That's when Paco is going to be hosting, which is pretty amazing. Stick around for that. And then we have more awesomeness coming after that. So chat, if you have any last minute questions for Dan, please feel free to ask, or ask him on the Instagram. I'm sure he'll get back to you.
Yeah, if anyone has any questions, just email me, message me. It's fine. I tend to get back fairly quickly.
Yeah.
I try and be pretty good with that stuff.
Yeah, but be patient. We're all human.
Yeah, also not in the next 12 hours. When I'm in
you're going to be
air.
busy, sleeping. all the good things. Yeah. Cool. So go follow Dan. We're going to head out of here, and we're going to welcome Christine and the students for more streams. So we'll see you very soon. Thanks, everyone.
Guys.